Hello, everybody. Today on Zadansa, we're going to be looking at Kirk Cameron's latest creation, uh, something, Mr. Kirk and Scaly guy.
Iggy and Mr. Kirk.
That's it, Iggy and Mr. Kirk. You can tell it's not the best thing in the world because I don't remember the name of the title. And boy, it's something. And maybe look at another Love Dare as we've been doing. All that and more.
On Zadenza.
Wow. Folks, hello. Let me tell you something. Sorry, we started like 2 minutes late. It's all my fault. Let me tell you why. I was going to drop my wife and her parents off at the airport, 7:30 my time. But that's when we were supposed to leave. It's a 20-minute drive to the airport. Okay, cool. We didn't leave till 7:50. They weren't ready. I was like, oh, that gets me back around 8:40-ish, 8:30. You know, it's not great, but it's doable. Then a car accident happens, like a mile in front of us. We could tell because all the ambulances and stuff are coming. And I'm like, oh no. And I ain't telling my wife's family that I gotta book it and get back because I gotta stream for some bullshit. So I'm like, we gotta get going. We gotta go. I'm like messaging Zod in the car, but hey, you know what? We're here. It's all good. So sorry, Zod, for making you wait on me, but I'm here now and I'm ready. So
you're all good. You're all good. Ways to Human says the cars are always stopping you, Dan.
That's what it is. And it's a personal affront to me, I think. So, and I'm pretty sure I saw a dead body, which is not great.
Oh.
You know, it's not good when you see that. One of those things. Anyway.
Betty says cancel Dan. Dan worked on canceling himself tonight, so we can.
It's true. I could. Okay. And like I sent the voicemail to Zod and he left me on red too. That's when I knew I was like, oh.
I was running around setting up, and then I messaged you after that.
He's setting up. He's actually doing stuff, and here I am coming in late. But you know what? It's fine because it's Kirk Cameron, right?
Exactly.
How good can it be?
What are we? Pretty darn good. That's
so good.
Sure. You may want to check. Sorry to say this live, but you may want to check your mic settings again.
Is it not great? It's not.
Yeah,
great?
It sounds like you might be on computer mic again.
Oh. Maybe it's my
earbud is just sucks.
It could be. I actually was getting audio at the wrong thing. I don't know. Chat tells me chat's up teeny. No, hang on.
Wait. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Okay, I just switched it back again. It should it is on the wrong thing. Hold on. It's on the wrong. There we go.
That's a world of difference right there.
There you go. See, this is what happens when I'm not ready.
None of this amateur hour bullshit.
I know. Speaking of amateur hour bullshit, let's talk about Kirk Cameron's business venture.
Yeah. So we did a stream about this, talking about the lead up to it and how he basically said that they need good, solid kids entertainment now, and you know this is going to be the thing. They're finally going to have something that's an answer to Hollywood and its worldly, I would suppose, woke values, and this was supposed to be it. And what are your first thoughts before we get started about having watched?
So Kirk Cameron has been in movie making business, and I don't know if he's done other shows. He's done movies. He knows this is supposed to be a profitable venture. I don't know how profitable this is. Because I saw 3 episodes of it and I almost fell asleep watching one of them. Okay. And I was like tuning out on the other 2 and doing other stuff. And I was like, wait, I need to actually be watching these. It's not good. And I get it. I'm not the target demo, right? These are for kids. But the kids show market, pretty crowded. And I don't think this is making a good splash, especially when we look at the views on these videos here in just a second.
Yeah, you want to bring that up real quick? I got that ready to go here. So this is hosted on the Brave Books website. And if you didn't know that this TV show is tied to a series of books, you will by the time you finish the first episode.
Oh yeah.
So they have a bunch of junk where they just welcome to Brave Books, I don't know, interviews or whatever.
Yep.
Land of Freedom Island, Iggy and Kirk sneak peek, which I think we watched for our previous episode. These are all like a few tens to sneak peek is 100,000 views. They burst onto the scene with episode 1 of Iggy and Mr. Kirk, Injured Bird, 1.1 million views. So, maybe this was looking as big as Kirk Cameron thought it would be. Then everybody apparently saw the show and realized what level of quality it was. Episode 2, 22,000 views. Episode 3, 19,000 views.
Yes. So, like, I think what happened here was the first one, there's a lot of press behind this. I'm sure he did some spots on some podcasts. We already saw that thing on Christian Broadcast News or whatever. So, there's some hype, and maybe that first episode got passed around, but holy shit, like this happens to content creators over the course of years. This happened after the next upload. Like, what happened here? What is going on?
Yeah, everyone watched episode 1 is like, what is this shit? And didn't come back.
But this is what's really weird. Can you click on the first episode? Let me show you something here on this. Okay. So view count was at 1.1 million views on there.
Yep.
That's a good chunk. 72 comments.
I didn't even see that.
How does a video with 1 million views get 72 comments? Now, my first thought is, well, it's because it's a kids video, because kids videos don't always do good with the comments. But if you go to the other 2 episodes, Zod, those are marked as YouTube Kids. And on YouTube Kids, they don't allow comments at all, but this one isn't.
Oh.
So something is going on here, I think. Methinks that there's some foul play happening with these analytics. Because that's not right.
I have a feeling they very, very heavily moderated these comments. Like,
that's probably true too.
There's a lot of videos where comments are on, and if you try to post anything, they disappear as if you'd gotten deleted, and it just automatically doesn't show most comments. So they might have like a heavy filter on here or something like that.
Yes, they're all incredibly positive comments, all saying, wow, this is great. The top comment, by the way, is a 17-year-old kid saying he watched all of it. Yeah, there it is right there. I'm 17 and Christian, and I enjoy these episodes. You deliver a great message, and the way you present is nostalgic for me as well. Like the children's program I used to watch when I was little. Please make more of these episodes to spread good message. And just like, if you're 17 watching this, I'm really curious as to why. But okay,
yeah,
what's your boat?
I would guess that a lot of support for this is like a lot of support for a lot of Christian media, including online apologists. It's wanting to be on board with the cause. Maybe this 17-year-old had to show this to some kids that are babysitting and just wanted to come in. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I know, setting aside, I want to take mostly an approach of just addressing the quality of these.
Yeah.
And I think I actually might want to, there's so much in these that we can't cover in a stream and would get tedious trying to do in a stream. I think I'm going to want to do like a more complete breakdown on my regular Mr. Zod channel, just going through all 3 episodes, because there's a lot to cover here, but I want to hit on a lot of it here. I don't know that we're going to have time for Love Dare today. We'll just have to see where this takes us. Because this is some weird stuff, but in a super boring way.
Yes. It's like every 5 minutes, there's something worth talking about almost. Maybe that's a little too far of a gap, but that's what it feels like. It's not super consistent, in my opinion.
Well, and one issue with this is this show is very indecisive. You'll start to see if you watch all 3 episodes, it looks like they're second guessing a lot of their decisions, and we'll get into some of that as we watch this. But if I were to give you one description of this show, it's just basic.
Yeah.
Like I had the bored feeling of being a kid who somebody had put this on while I was at a house with a bunch of kids at church, and it's just bleh. Like it feels so much like things that people would pop in a VHS for when I was a kid, and nobody wanted to watch it, but it was like a Sunday schoolish thing that the parents made you watch.
Yeah, it makes you really appreciate the children's media you have that is actually really good. Like when I was in college, me and some buddies were like, "Hey, you know what'd be funny is if we just watched like an episode of Dragon Tales to see what it was like." And you know what? That shit was boring as fuck. That was a bad idea. We shouldn't have done that. It's a program for babies, and that's what it felt like watching this. 'Cause I feel like there's some stuff where it's like I could put on a few minutes of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or whatever. It'd probably be pretty pleasant. And this is just not that, but it really wants to be at times.
Yeah. Kind of Tiona sums it up pretty well. I grew up with the original Winnie the Pooh, so the concept of a children's show that isn't entertaining to adults still feels scammy to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure I'd go that far. I'd have to think about it, but off the cuff, I'm a little on board with that comment. I feel like media should respect kids, and if it respects kids, it's going to be at least passably entertaining for adults. You don't need to pander for adults and put all kinds of inside jokes in there and stuff like that, but there should be the bones of good storytelling in there that makes it at least watchable and has sentiments that adults can at least look at and appreciate. And
yeah. And I'll give credit where credit's due. I've definitely seen worse. This isn't the worst thing out there.
Oh, there's tons worse than this.
Yeah.
This is just vanilla and mediocre and boring.
It's mediocre, and that's the big thing. It's like you got to be. I'm imagining you're Kirk Cameron, or you're Kirk Cameron's investors, right? Because he got a lot of people through like crowdfunding and stuff on this, and he couldn't have just done this through crowdfunding. I think he had to have gotten some people that he knows or did presentations to. And what is your return on this? You get 1 million views on your first episode. Okay, great. And then 10,000 on episode 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think those views do mean something, but there's another side to this, which is this is not the primary place for posting these videos.
Sure.
These are on and I think are meant to promote a Brave Plus streaming service.
Yeah.
So Brave Books has and you're going to see a logo for it at the beginning here. They have a service called Brave Plus, their own streaming just for this horse shit. And so
yeah,
it could that dive in views could be that this is just where they first promoted episode 1, and now everyone who's going to watch it is watching it over on Brave Plus. I kind of doubt it, but that is such a striking change. There's got to be a lot of people who just are going to watch for free. And when you go from 1 million down to 20,000,
yeah,
that's something other than you switched your primary.
Yeah. There's just, and like at 12,000 subscribers, by the way, which is also not great. I mean, like, again, there's a lot of people that have like 10K subs with like, sometimes they have like 1 million views video because they have like a clip of something or whatever. But like, this is the whole brand. Like, this is the brand channel where they're posting stuff. And yeah, there's some revenue that's going to come from whatever other services, but I cannot imagine there's a world where this ends up being profitable. You have to pay for the set, you have to pay for editing, you have to pay for actors, you have to do so many things here, and there's no way this adds up. I just can't think that this is a profitable venture here.
So Scuzzbopper just pointed out something that's a little obvious in hindsight. If we're going to be fair, if the second 2 are under YouTube Kids, that would probably ding the watch count. Yes, maybe that could be a possibility. I'm not sure 100% how that works. But
why would it change the watch count though?
I'm not 100% sure, but
yeah.
I don't know if that affects it. You know, there's so many things that can pretty drastically affect how things get recommended on YouTube. And I could see that being one of them potentially. I don't know, but I could see that. So
I
don't know.
Yeah, I could see you saying like promote it differently. That makes sense. Like the channel still only has 12,000 subs. Like it's not going to many people's inboxes in the first place. But somehow this got 1 million views. So I don't know. Very strange.
Yeah.
But maybe we should just start with the intro. Oh, God, I hate this intro so much.
Oh
Also.
yeah, I have things to say already, and I have this whole thing laid out with a time frame for all of episode 1. I wasn't able to get to 2 and 3, so I know where the highlights are, and we can kind of skip around a little bit. But just let me know if you want to stop or if there's things you want to cover.
By the way, chat, there is a character in this show. Let's just call it out for what it is. Okay, its name is Mailman Dan, and I can't tell you guys. I can't tell you guys not to call me Mailman Dan because it's the internet. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm letting it out there now. Okay, it's out there. It's out there. Just FYI. All right.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we'll address Mailman Dan when we get to him because
he's a whole can of worms there. Another Fred Rogers knockoff.
Yeah, you don't need to keep drawing attention to the fact that you're trying to be Mr. Rogers. I'm sorry, not a good look. You think that's working, but it's not.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Let's do this.
Oh, get out of here, Brian! This is a really special opportunity for us to take care of a
Oh, sorry, we got captions on for some reason. I don't know why. There we go.
Maybe it's
life
a
that
good
needs
thing though.
us.
Actually, I don't know.
Okay, guys. I hear our injured bird needs some shelter.
Yes.
Let's get crafty.
God designs every
Again, we
part
missed
of us.
something.
Guys,
Do we?
I hear our injured.
Oh yeah.
Listen carefully when it cuts to the lady with her crafts.
Get out of here, Brian! This is a really special opportunity for us to take care of a life that needs us.
Okay, guys.
Oh no,
I hear our
not
injured bird
yet.
needs some shelter.
Yes.
Let's get crafty.
God designs every part of us, from each hair on our head or scales.
Crafted each one of us to be his special work of art.
That edit like made me mad
yeah.
how lazy it was.
It's really bad. It's not good.
The audio edit, it like cuts in right in the middle of her saying something. That stuff I try to avoid on my petty little YouTube videos for a production like this. But if you're trying to get kids excited about this, I would assume, and this is the Real You show, this feels like the most boring, didactic, I don't know.
Trash.
Yeah. This didn't do anything for me. And I would think it would do even less for a kid who you're trying to get excited about this show. This just screams Sunday school. Did you know every hair on your head? Da, 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 da. Let's
Yeah. And people are talking about what's up with the bird. Well, we'll get to this bird. This terrible idea, by the way, what they do with this animal. It's a really rough start. I don't know. Let's just watch it. Let's do it.
Metal theologian, this bird needs shelter. Let's put it in my womb.
Yeah, there's some things happening.
There's a lot of animal related stuff in here that I'm going to want to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
We'll talk about that bird puppet too.
This is a Brave Plus original.
Don't forget. What's that?
Who's that knocking at my door?
Let's go!
I was so confused when I first watched this.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I was so confused when I first watched this. I was like, this isn't gonna be the whole show, is it? It's cartoons. I thought it's live action.
So this is one thing already.
Yeah.
To me, this is a little jarring, switching from cartoon to real characters. I know that probably happens sometimes, but I feel like it can be a little jarring for kids to see the identities of the characters they're identifying with change like that. And if you're going to do it, why make it, if this is the best cartoon you can come up with, why include it?
Why
looks
make it
shitty.
5 frames
the
of
mouth,
animation?
the mouths aren't even moving when they talk.
Yeah.
Just stay with the characters.
And by the way,
a little more footage of the people.
Chat, I want you to listen to this theme song, and I want you to tell me what it reminds you of, because it definitely sounds like another song. But we'll see.
Oh, you heard that too, huh?
Yes, I think yes.
Okay. Also, try to count the number of times they just repeat the same line.
Yeah, that too.
Iggy and Mr. Kirk spend all day in the treehouse playing. Iggy and Mr. Kirk laughing, learning, smiling with friends from Freedom Island. Going on one more adventure, Iggy and Mr. Kirk.
Who's that knocking on the door? Out of the front porch. Come on, let's explore. There's so much to learn about up in our tree house.
Iggy and Mr. Kirk. Iggy and Mr. Kirk spend all day in the treehouse playing. Iggy and Mr. Kirk. Let's all go on one more adventure with Iggy and Mr. Kirk.
Iggy and Mr. Kirk. Hooray!
So first off,
Yeah.
that is just way too long and repetitive. I'm sorry. It's obnoxious, it's repetitive, and it just goes and goes and goes. I think they just repeated Iggy and Mr. Kirk about close to a dozen times, I would think. I lost track when I was
Yes.
trying to count it.
And it sounds like Frosty the Snowman, right? It's Frosty the Snowman.
I was hearing Santa Claus is coming
Or
to town.
sorry, Santa Claus coming to town. Yeah, Santa Claus coming to town, not Frosty the Snowman.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
It's Santa Claus coming to town, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not crazy. That's just what that song is. Like that's half the
exactly what I
song.
heard. I was
Yeah. Like what the fuck? Why did they do that? It's so similar.
You're already tainting Mr. Rogers, and now you have to steal Christmas
now
from
they
us.
gotta steal Christmas. And remember, I remember when we first looked at previews of this, and there was like a whole lore to this land, because they
Yeah.
had like the map and stuff. They
Mhm.
don't really go into it yet, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah.
So I'm a little disappointed. I wanted to go to the gun freedom land or whatever that one place was. You know.
So honestly, and I want to just plant this thought in your head and in the head of the audience. What I'm more interested in is the lore of the show itself.
Right.
The world they build as this happens, because they change. This show is indecisive. I feel like they made some decisions in the first episode that they felt bad about or just didn't think landed right. And they changed them in weird ways in the second. We're not going to have time to get much into the second, but I at least want to touch on some things because it's weird.
Yeah, they don't explore any lore in this first episode. I mean, not really. They don't explain the questions you want to know. Who is Iggy? Who is Mr. Kirk? They're just kind of there, which, like, in fairness, I guess they don't have to, but it is kind of weird. Like, why is this grown man living with this talking child lizard and hugging him in weird ways, by the way?
Yeah, that's
well, maybe we'll get to that. But
yeah, we'll get to that.
Let's just keep going.
All right.
Hi, brave explorers. I'm Mr. Kirk. Welcome to my treehouse. It's spring, which means it's time for new life. Have you ever cared for a new life? Like,
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're setting up the premise of the show
yeah.
here.
I'm glad you paused it there.
Oh, this like pause point is just perfect. He looks like
Kirk Cameron just coming up to you with a fishing rod saying, "Have you ever cared for a new life?" What the fuck does that mean? When you're 5 years old, what does that mean to you? Like,
well, just compare.
explains it, but-
Forget what he's saying. I mean,
Yeah.
don't forget it. But just for a moment, set aside what he's saying and just think about the energy he's bringing to this, and compare it to, say, Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers just exudes obvious, real care, and his personality is coming through the screen, right?
yeah.
Kids know when somebody feels real. Mr. Rogers feels real. He feels like somebody's speaking to you because he cares about you, even if it's through a screen. He anonymously cares for kids.
Sure.
Mr. Kirk is just coming on with like very put on, trying to be engaging with kids' energy, and it's just fake as hell. And any kid in the world can spot it, and it's just extremely uncomfortable to me.
And he really acts like he knows you. Like, I don't know you like that, Mr. Kirk. You can't just ask me questions
Yeah.
like that. We haven't established a relationship yet. And I don't know.
He's good at turning on the energy and being expressive, but it feels very fake. I
Yeah.
don't like it. It's
Yeah.
icky.
Also, tell Chad, guess what pride flag is on the fishing hut wall or the treehouse wall? I don't know. It's not a real pride flag. I'm just joking. But the first thought was, I guess this is some sort of new. Maybe this is a straight pride flag everyone's been talking about. I don't know. Every time I just see stripes and colors, I just think of pride flags. That's my problem. But anyway, you can keep playing it.
Yeah, the reading of the line, Evan Sachs says, the reading of the line, have you ever cared for a new life was so
Have you ever
weird.
cared for a new life? What? Excuse me?
A new little brother or sister or a puppy? It can be a lot of work, but it's worth it because every life is a gift from God. Have you met Iggy? He and I are going fishing today. He is so excited. He has been looking forward to this for weeks. It's all he ever talks about.
Those are my fishing worms.
So real,
Right. It's pretty good. Thank you, Fletcher from on high.
extremely strange choice, especially considering how hard we just pivoted from caring for life to now my little lizard friend and I are going to go drag fish out of the water and beat them to death.
Yeah.
Like,
That's also
why
yeah.
of all he could have chosen any activity for him and this little child / iguana to go do after talking about caring for life, and they're going to care for a small animal.
They
and
had
chose,
to pick the one to trigger the libs, Zod. You know they had to do it. They had to do a real manly hobby like fishing. Okay.
Yeah, I get that, and that's in line with their brand. This whole brand is
Yeah.
supposed to be an anti-woke, teach kids, real values and to be a man or whatever, I guess. But why that I don't know. To me, anyway, that contrast hits kind of hard. Every life is valuable. You can look out for new life. Now let's go kill fish.
Yeah, every life is valuable except for the fish that we're about to kill today. Okay, well, Lord, teach him young, I guess.
In fairness, he wasn't taking him out to go kill deer or something right after talking about this. But anyway, let's go.
Oh no, it sounds like Iggy's in some sort of trouble.
Oh, it's over here. Oh, it's over there. Oh, get out of here, Brian.
What's going on?
Bird in our treehouse. It's trying to steal my fishing worms and it won't fly out. Get your own fishing worms.
Iggy, whoa.
He's about to straight up murder that bird.
Wait, that's my blanket. Mr. Kirk, what are you doing?
put him
The
to
bird's
sleep
a
now.
robber.
A robin?
Well, yeah, he's robbing us. He belongs in jail.
That joke.
Look at this. This
Listen,
little bird
I
has a hurt
snickered.
wing.
What's that?
I snickered at that joke. The one where he's
Put him in
like,
jail?
he's a robin. And he's like, he's a
Oh,
robin.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
he's robbing us. Come on, that's funny. That's a good one. That's the only
that-
time I laughed at this whole thing.
That works okay for a kid's show, especially when you're starved for any other kind of entertainment.
But okay, so we are 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in,
3 minutes in, yeah.
3 minutes in, but like 2 minutes into the actual episode, right? Because the first minute's just, stuff. We haven't established the home. We've done a lot of real quick shots. You're a kid, you're watching this for the first time. This is the pilot. Don't you want to know where you are or who some of these people are? Aren't you gonna be a little confused? There's a lot of things happening. I don't know. I would have taken this at a different pace. They're jumping around, doing way too much at the beginning here. Don't you
And
think?
this is just a very jumpy show in general.
Yeah,
It's
true.
We'll see that continue.
Oh, well, that's not good. We need to take it to the hospital.
He's gonna mercy
I don't know
kill
about
the
taking him
Yeah.
to the hospital, but we definitely need to take care of it.
life, Iggy.
Take care of it? How?
Well, we need to make sure that it has food and water and probably time for it to rest its wings. And then I think we just need to be here in case it needs anything.
What?
So already we're doing really bad shit with birds.
Yeah.
Hey, you actually
So-
don't have to do any of that.
Yeah, YT, this is exactly what I was thinking. No vet, no calling a wildlife sanctuary. You don't model for kids that if you run into an injured wild animal, you bring it into its house and wrap it in a blanket and
Yeah.
just give it some food and water.
Yeah. Like, you can let it stay outside. If and this becomes a conflict, by the way. They're like, "Oh, well, we can't go on the fishing trip." Yet you can. You can wrap it up, I guess, but like you can leave it outside and it'll find its way. It's not going to go anywhere if it's really injured, right? I mean, I guess if you're gone like all day, I don't know, but like this isn't really this is really weird. This isn't teaching the best habits, I feel like. I feel like as a parent, you don't want your kids being like, "Look, I learned from Iggy and Mr. Kirk. I can just bring in this bird I found outside." You know?
Having had my own kids, and when we were young, we lived in the woods and stuff, or at least near the woods, where they'd had encountered birds and stuff like that, some of them injured or whatever. I could see a kid watching this show wrapping a injured bird in a blanket and carrying it to the treehouse, and the poor thing dies because nobody got proper care for it.
Yeah. So
I mean, most of the random birds you found, they'd probably just say, "Oh, just let it go and see if it lives or dies." But whatever.
Not a great start. Not a great start.
No, I don't. Yeah, this is one of many things that this show teaches kids that I don't think is really good to model.
Yeah. Also, it's weird every time I look at this bird because you can just tell it's just a guy going like this every time. And
yeah.
I get it. And not everything's gonna be the Muppets, but it's not the best looking bird.
I thought by the standards of the show, it was a fine little puppet.
It's not bad. It's just you look at it closely.
I've been looking forward to this for months.
I know, but the bird really needs us.
You know what that bird really needs? Some exercise, fresh air, sunlight, a day fishing. Let's go.
Well, Iggy, I think our day at the lake's gonna need to wait. Tell you what, I'll get some water, and you think maybe you could share some of our worms with it?
Some of our worms? That's what got us into this mess. It's been trying to take our worms since it flew in, and now you want to hand them over? Oh, you're ruining my day, bird.
Okay, there you go, little bird. Drink up.
That's what I mean. It's just going. It's just some finger puppet.
Well, that's a super fake ass bowl of water too.
Yeah.
Some part of that is computer animated, and I can't figure out exactly where.
Yeah, probably because the water doesn't look great on camera. Also, while we were watching that, you know what? I had a revelation, Zod. I didn't put this together before. I realized why Iggy is so off-putting to me. It's
why?
He has a soul patch. That's why. You notice that he's got a little scaly soul patch. Watch next time he goes on screen. Like, he doesn't look like a little kid. He looks like a little tiny grown ass man. It's like I don't feel like he's not cute. I'm just kind of weirded out.
Also, so this show feels very not self-aware, because think of the stance that I am positive that this show takes toward illegal immigration. And this is all about this creature coming in from the outside. It's hurt and in need. And all Iggy complains about is it's taking my stuff and ruining my day. You know what I mean?
I wasn't ready for that, but you're right. Bro, that's so funny. Oh my God.
This reads like a metaphor for how you treat immigrants.
Stop. You are right, though.
They came into our country and took all our worms. And
to be fair, Mr. Kirk's saying we gotta like raise it and stuff. I don't think Mr. Kirk in real life would say that about immigrants. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he's taking any in his house.
That's what I'm saying. The show's just all over the place. This thing is just dying to get into the conservative stuff. It's starting with these general basic just be nice and take care of people and be friendly things. But and there's a couple places where I think their foreshadowing is going to be coming.
Yeah.
They want to get to some other stuff. And I feel like this just comes off as tone deaf, considering that is a little bit of a natural leap, and they're not going to go there, and they're going to go the opposite direction.
I did not make that leap, but you're putting it out there. Okay, I see it. All right.
Yeah, we're not going to go back and replay it, but if you ever rewatch this, just watch just watch this scene and watch how Iggy keeps reacting to the bird.
I'll be honest. I don't recommend anybody watch this. It's not that great, but you do what you want with your time.
All right.
There. Can we go fishing now? We can take the
Look at his
bird.
little
There's
neck
tons
beard.
of water at the pond.
What's that?
Look at his little neck beard. Dude, just play it. You just look at his little. He's got a little thing going on. He's got a soul patch.
Also, I don't think birds have swallowing muscles, so it couldn't drink like that. They have to lift up their heads and let the water fall down their throats.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering because that didn't look right. Yeah, you're right about that.
What about the worms?
Oh. There. Worms. Let's go.
Yeah.
See, he's got a little soul patch.
Yeah, that makes him look like a makes him look a little douchey.
It does. It's not a good look. Why did they put that there? I think it's better without it.
Yeah, he does not look like a child. He looks like a weird hipster or something like that.
Anyway.
All right. Thanks for drawing that to my
Yeah.
Okay. I would say thanks for drawing it to my attention because you ruined it, but now you just made me consciously see it. Like already
now it's there.
I didn't know it was there, but my brain did. Now I know it's there.
Oh yeah, the other thing I was gonna say about this scene, I just remember too, because like like they show it, everything's messed up, right? Everything's all they did these really quick shots, but it's like we haven't seen an establishing shot of this place. We don't even know what it looks like normally. And we're already like getting into this territory. I don't know, it's just a weird start. Anyway, we'll just keep going.
Yeah, I don't know that establishing shots would by themselves be a big thing, but I feel like on some, I don't know what's missing, but something feels like it's missing in terms of establishing what's going on. Like they kind of rush you in. Yeah. They think the fact that the mailman brought Iggy over there in that little cartoon explains it to us. I don't know that really.
Guys, he's an iguana. Iggy the iguana. So some of y'all are confused about. He's an iguana man. To be fair, he is some sort of mutant hybrid. But yeah gotta be an iguana. Anyway.
Yeah, I know you're so excited about the fishing trip, but this is a really special opportunity for us to take care of a life that needs us. But I'll be right back. Creatively, can you read me?
10-4, what's your craft emergency?
We have a situation over here at the treehouse. We got a bird that's injured, and we need a place for it to stay.
Copy that. I've got just the thing.
Get it? Her name's Lee, so they called her Creative Lee. Ha ha ha.
So good. It's really good.
Yeah, that's the mom from Good Luck Charlie, by the way. So whatever that means to you.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
I never really watched that show.
Yeah, one of my kids watched it when she was younger.
Oh, there you go.
Do we have to spend so much time helping the bird?
Remember, this is our chance to take care of another life.
Hello. Oh, I came as quick as I could. Oh, so sweet.
I'm so glad that you came. Hey, Brave Explorers, I want you to meet my very crafty cousin, Creative Lee.
Hello, Brave Explorers. I've heard so much about you. It's nice to finally meet you. Okay, guys. I hear our injured bird needs some shelter.
Yes.
Let's get crafty. Now for this craft, you'll need glue, markers, scissors, raffia, finger paints, and don't forget about the box.
Raffia.
That was a new word for me. Chat, was this a new word for you? Because I didn't know that's what that was called.
Who the hell has raffia sitting around, much less knows that this whole
Hobby
thing...
Lobby, I guess they got a special on raffia after this episode.
This whole thing feels very much targeted toward rich suburban white kids who are just, their moms have this stuff all sitting around the house. I don't know. It feels... If I were to do a craft thing, I would design it in a way where like they could do something like that, but have them like cut construction paper or something to where they don't have these. There's going to be all kinds of kids from all kinds of socioeconomic backgrounds watching this. And I don't know, I don't want to be that way about everything, but I feel like most kids' educational stuff would have that kind of thing in mind. Also, sorry, I know you're trying to say something, but I just want to finish the thought. Also, most kids' educational stuff, I don't think should put a craft project at the beginning of the show. That is kind of a bad idea. Like they're right at the beginning, they're explaining how to do something. Parents want their kids to settle in and watch this. You put your craft or activity at the end.
Right.
And so it's fresh in kids' minds afterwards. Now kids are getting up trying to do this activity. And as you're going to see, this is not paced or designed to be followed. And so
No.
this just feels like all kinds, I don't know. I was in secondary education, but I learned enough to know that this show was not made by educators. It doesn't seem like it was.
Yeah. I was going to say, to be fair, Zod, when I was a kid, Zoom was on PBS and I loved Zoom. Come on in, Zoom, that one. And they always had a craft. And I remember begging my mother, can we please do the craft in the show? There was like a one where you could like make pizza or something. And I was like, Mom, can we please make the pizza from Zoom? And she was like, yeah, we'll do it sometime. We'll do it. We never fucking did it, Sod. We never fucking did it. Because like, who's doing that? Who's doing that? Plus, if it's on TV, it's like way too fast. You have to like record it if you're gonna follow the instructions. I mean, YouTube is fine, but
Yeah, the parents could go back and do this with their kids later, but it just feels the kids, you just settled down your kids into watching a show, and 5 minutes into it, now they're jumping up on you to do a craft. I don't know.
Yeah, see, y'all remember Zoom. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's good. Anyway. Yeah, I do. Do you want to watch? I don't remember anything good from this craft part besides the raffia.
I just want to watch. I want to watch one little quick part of it because
Okay.
it just shows how oblivious they are.
Start with our markers and draw out a tree branch. I'm going to draw just a few branches, right?
No, we should do a craft
Like
on
this. Okay, we're going to take
sometime.
Okay, watch some of these details. These are not just as somebody who used to be in education. These are not made to be followed, or they just do a super suck ass poor job of it.
Yeah.
Like you cannot follow this, and some of the instructions don't even make sense.
scissors, raffia,
Oh, sorry,
finger
we went
paints,
back
and
too
don't
far.
forget about the box. And start with our markers and draw out a tree branch.
Now it shows her drawing, but you can't see what she's drawing while she's doing it. That's something you should show the kids, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to draw just a few branches, right? Like this. Okay, we're going to take a little glue. We're going to put it right here where our nest will go. Then we're going to take some raffia and we're going to stick it here to make a bird. Like this. Look at that.
Yeah.
Now we're going to use our fingerprints to fill in the tree. Okay, so you're going to take your hand and we're going to put it here.
Now tell me if this part's weird.
And then we're going to make leaves out of it for our tree.
Yes, I did that.
You did that.
They
That
do look
part
like
of the
little marijuana leaves, if that's what you mean.
No, that part of the instruction counts on your kid to have tiny little iguana hands.
You're
Am
right.
I wrong?
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. That's true. They do have to be a very small size.
Yeah, that's the kids. Number one, maybe kids could put their hands on to make leaves, but your kids, unless this thing's huge, your kids are going to have to be like newborn babies in order for this to fit at all. And then the kids are going to want it to look like that, and it's not. So that's going to create all kinds of frustration. Like this show does not understand children at all, and it drives me up the wall.
And let's think about this. Who is this craft for? Like, are you supposed to find your local injured bird so you can make your like a separately themed box for it? Like, what are they going to do otherwise with just a box with some raffia on it? Like, I don't know. It's not a very good craft.
Oh my
Of all the things, you could have made paper airplanes, maybe a little origami bird, but like, what is this going to do? Who wants this? I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. We don't need to keep watching this, but the arts and crafts among everything drive me nuts.
Yeah, this one is especially bad, I will say.
Okay, we have more bird care. We have this and then more bird care. And then do you want to go to Mailman Dan?
Yeah, the fingerprint comment, that's at the end, right? That's towards the end. I want to talk about that. I think that's not here.
The fingerprint comment is at the end of the art and craft project. Part
Yeah.
of it.
Okay. Yeah. We should do that.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's
if we can
go to the end of this.
Like that. God has crafted each one of us to be his special work.
Go back a little bit. I think we skipped.
That's right. Thanks so much for.
Yeah.
From each hair on our
Go
head.
back a little more. We're right there. We're right there.
Scales right down. So cool.
Yeah, that's right. No one in the world has the exact same thing.
No, wait, go back a little
You know
bit
what else
more.
is
We're
cool?
right there. We're
A
so
baby
close,
gets-
God. We're so close.
Well, those are fingerprints. Hey, did you know that your fingerprint is unique to you and only you?
That's so cool. cool.
Yeah, that's right. No one in the world has the exact same fingerprints.
You know what else is cool?
Not entirely
A
true.
baby gets
Exactly.
their fingerprints even before they're.
It's a fucking lie. It's not true. We're lying to children now.
Yeah,
We're lying.
the way they track and database fingerprints is pretty imprecise to where they would never know this. But there's at least a couple instances where people ended up logging identical fingerprints, and that caused some legal confusion.
Yeah, like it's definitely happened. And obviously that some of that has to do with like the technology of recording fingerprints, not necessarily fingerprints themselves. But still, it's like we already know this isn't a thing anymore. Why are we treating this as a fact? And also, Kirk's comment here of, did you know that they have fingerprints even before they were born? Like, I don't know. It gets into some pro-life shit right here, which is also funny.
Biddy says, who called anti-abortion earlier?
Yeah.
Doc Dan
It's
Hogg
there.
said pro-life propaganda. Yep.
It's there. Yeah, you could play the rest of this maybe.
They're born.
Whoa, no way.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? That's because God designs every part of us, from each hair on our head
Or scales.
right down to our one-of-a-kind fingerprints.
Whoa. If everyone in the whole world has their own fingerprints, then that's like 100 fingerprints.
Yeah, something like that. God has crafted each one of us to be his special work of art.
That's right. Thanks so much for coming over. This craft was perfect.
Oh, wait, I want to do more crafts.
There'll be more time for craft.
Yeah, this
All
is
right,
fine.
we skip a bit. This is getting tired.
I love this. Yeah, because it's like I don't know. We're going right into the theology. God created like, Jimmy, that cancer you have, God created you with that. You're his special work of art. Don't you know that? Come on. I mean, I don't know. Cynical, but still, like, come on. They're not even doing the whole, oh, you should feel special because God made you that way. It's just, no, God did it, get them all individually, especially the unborn. You know, like, we're just going straight for the political propaganda.
All the things that should make a kid feel special and unique and stuff, and that God would use to make us unique, giving us a pattern on our end of our fingers, that just feels like a weird choice. I don't know that that's the first thing I do.
Yeah.
Also, and I think kids pick up on this stuff, along with being closer to the end. I think this art project should have like tied together more of the themes and ideas of the show. It just is very random. Oh, we need a box, so we're going to design a box.
Right.
Also, kids can perceive on the fact that there's supposed to be some kind of urgency about taking care of this bird, and that
right, you're just taking your time coloring the box.
That's what this is all for. Oh, we have an emergency. Let's make a craft. So now you turn your back on the bird and just leave it sitting in a blanket. No, he's holding the bird. I'm sorry, I'm wrong about that. But they take all this time to just decorate a box. I don't know.
Hello, I am a man. I need a woman to come help me build a craft. Do you have any boxes and markers? Some raffia, please? We can't do it without the raffia, Lee. Come on.
This goes along the lines of the comment earlier about kids shows that aren't entertaining for adults feel scammy. And that's how I feel about this. This is insulting to the intelligence of kids. They're going to notice a lot of these things. And it bothers me that the show is this disrespectful to them. I don't know, maybe I'm getting too much into it, but maybe I don't watch enough kids shows, but that's just.
The decorations weren't needed for the bird's comfort. It just needed a box. You could have done that first. I don't know. Also,
and you don't.
There's Freedom Island back there, by the way.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's
you don't need to actually the logic of kids shows.
Yeah.
But when you put emotional stakes into it, kids can tell that's a little off.
Yeah.
And it bothers them.
So funny.
We have another visitor.
Maybe he wants a bird.
Iggy's just an
Mailman Dan, what are you up to?
Oh, packages! So many packages!
Mailman Dan always brings us exactly what we need.
Well, thank you. And I have your package right.
So that was kind of strange to me. Like, the mailman brings you whatever you order or somebody else mailed. Like he's acting like the mailman, all their needs are met by just this mailman brings you stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like, we've already done this, guys. Mr. Rogers did this like literally 50 years ago. You're really going to do another mailman character? I don't know. It's a little obvious what your influences are. Just saying. And he has to be white this time too, by the way. But yeah,
has to be white.
Yeah, because the postman was black in Mr. Rogers.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
No,
yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. That was a whole thing. The original one. Yeah.
No, there was a black cop.
You're right. I'm thinking. Wait, am I thinking of the cop? No.
Yeah, you're thinking of the cop.
Right?
Yeah, he's the big controversy that he stirred and he did it on purpose was he sat in a pool with his feet in a pool with a
right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Oh,
that's not
okay.
Mr. McFeely. No,
sorry guys, I'm not up to date on my children's television lore. Okay, I forgot.
Sorry, you know your Zoom. In my day, my life revolved around Mr. Rogers, so
that's
you don't
fair.
mess.
That's fair. Yeah. Zoom is pretty.
But yeah, Mr. McFeely at least seemed like a human character, and he wasn't a big part of the show, but he would come on with his enthusiasm, and it felt like conversations between him and Mr. Rogers that respected kids. This is just goofy buffoonery. Like, I guess we'll just watch it. It's weird.
Okay, sorry, he's still stealing characters.
Yeah,
my point still stands.
That was close. I almost dropped all of my.
This is just obnoxious. It's stupid.
Thank you. It's just these allergies. I might be allergic to cardboard. Mailman Dan, what would you do if a bird stopped you from going fishing? Well, that must be a really big bird. No, it's normal size. It just got hurt.
Oh. Yeah, by the standards of the show, I enjoyed that line.
Is he okay?
He hurt his wing.
It was also funny.
We're spending our whole day taking care of it instead of fishing.
Well, good on you. That is an important thing to do.
You say so. Well, here is your package.
Thank you.
And I gotta go because the mail never stops.
Well, thanks, Mailman Dan. And remember, be careful.
Careful is my middle name. Whoa! Actually, my middle name is Seymour, and I'm okay.
What could...
Guys, stop. Iggy is not autistic coded. Okay, chat, calm down. Calm down. No, he's not. We're not doing this. Oh, that's fucking funny. That was funnier than anything that just happened in the last 30 seconds on screen. Yeah. Really good stuff.
Aside from the fact he doesn't want his plans to change, nothing about Iggy strikes me as autistic.
No, I don't think so.
But, all right. So listen to this song. I don't know, it's subtle, but they do some promotional tie-ins here.
Yeah. I forgot about this.
Oh, let's go back a notch. Oh, we gotta watch him fall down again. All right, listen to this song that kicks in though.
It's really good comedy.
Actually, my middle name is Seymour, and I'm okay.
What could be better than reading a brave?
Iggy, where are you?
Hey, Mr. Kirk.
Are you ready to open our package?
Yeah.
So this thing is, this is Brave Books, right? And so this is spun off by this. He wants to make these like non-woke traditional values, teach kids good life lessons. Not only does the mailman bring them a book, but their intro to this little sketch segment is what could be better than reading a Brave book together. And they repeat that. Like you're just doing advertising.
I didn't realize that's what they said. A Brave book together. I just heard it
better.
Oh my God.
Reading a Brave book together.
Oh my God.
It's shameless.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. That's so bad. I didn't even realize that's what they said. I couldn't understand them and I didn't care. That's so funny. Oh no.
This is basically like stopping and talking about Raid Shadow Legends for 5 minutes, but it's your own product.
Yeah. Well, and we're gonna see in a second, but like, remember I told you at the beginning I was worried. Oh no, is this going to be a shitty cartoon? And it turns out, yes, actually, this part of the show is a shitty cartoon,
Yeah.
and apparently they're all like this. So, like, I don't know why it's not good. You know, it's no Between the Lions. I'll tell you that. Okay. Not great.
I want to kind of rush through this book part, and we can just sum it up if that's all right with you.
Yeah,
'cause this is
no,
gonna take
please.
a
I
minute.
was like, please, dear God, don't let us watch this whole
Yeah.
book part because it's
I
not.
want to skip
good.
forward to one part though.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, let's.
Oh, look at this. It's a new Brave book. These have stories from Freedom Island.
Yeah, this one's called Little Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Whenever this show says anything about lives mattering, my guard goes up.
Yeah, it's a choice. It's a choice. You know.
Especially considering they don't go far with that sentiment.
No,
But at the end, they mention that all little lives matter. So they threw in that all there too. And
I didn't pick up on any commentary on the actual book part, but the title is just it's a thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For this show. Yeah, I don't trust it either.
all right, we'll probably get about a little under a minute into this thing and then we can stop. There's a little stuff of the intro here, and then there's a character that I definitely want to touch on because I
Okay,
think he's
yeah.
going to be key as this thing unfolds.
Pay attention, bird.
Just as the
Fucking
wildflowers
sickly-ass
were
bird.
starting to bloom in Whiggamore Woods, the sweetest little bear cub was born. He wasn't like any other cub on Freedom Island, but that made Mother Bear love him even more. Little Moby had 2 brown bear eyes, 1 brown bear nose, 2 brown bear feet, and 10 little toes. But little Moby had only 1 front paw. So Mother Bear cared for her frail little cub day and night. One evening, Mother Bear was rocking little Moby when Culture the vulture landed beside her.
What a tired mother you are.
He squawked.
How hard you were.
Okay,
So-
actually, I hope we were going to talk about the culture vulture thing. I did
Yeah.
not put the culture vulture thing with the Little Lives Matter thing until now, and now that connection makes it a little more sus. Actually,
Yeah.
I-
Culture the vulture.
Chat.
So this is basically the culture. This is basically supposed to represent the culture, you know, coming in and saying what the culture, probably woke culture, in vulture form. And of course, he sounds elitish, maybe slightly foppish, I think is what they're going for. And something about this vulture character intangibly feels like it might be approaching being Jew coded.
That's what's interesting because like he doesn't act okay. So like, culture vulture, the term, right, is like, you know, people taking advantage of Black culture, right? But that's not like what he's doing. Like you're right. It's supposed to be like what the mainstream.
Yeah.
But
it's basically demon. It's
Jewish people. It's
What's
kinda
that?
anti-Semitic. You're right. It does have a thing to it. Yeah, you have to watch it to see it. But yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that.
it's very British and elite sounding. I think it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be the you know, the educated elites and the left coast, blah blah blah, and what the culture tells us is the church. Culture, the replacement theory. Vulture.
Oh no! A pleasure from on high. You're killing me today. Oh my god.
I want to watch more of Culture the Vulture, but I feel like it's going to end up taking us too long.
No, it's not. I promise you, chat. You're not missing like a lot. This is like the most boring part of this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, they just sit here and read this book. So it's like you're number one using this book to pad out your episode.
Yeah.
And then number 2, you're just promoting your products on this show. But essentially, this is just the most insular thing. They are prepping their kids to be radicalized against the rest of the world with this Culture the Vulture character. And this Vulture comes up. What the Vulture does throughout the show is right now he's about to tell the mom, "Oh, you don't want to care for that kid. Just let him go." And she goes, "No, you go away, Vulture." And
yeah, it's kind of weird. Kind of dark.
Yeah.
Like, hey, take this. Just your kid is disabled. Don't you want to abandon him? What?
Yeah. At first, he tells the mom to abandon the kid. Then he tells the kid just run away because you're not good enough for everybody else. They don't want you. Then when the kid grows up, he takes care of his mom and he says, "Don't." But I guarantee you, absolutely guarantee you, I will bet my house and everything I own on the fact that this Culture the Vulture, at some point, if it doesn't happen, it was planned to happen, is going to suggest to a kid in a book that they're actually a boy or a girl, even though that's not what they were born as, either literally or metaphorically.
Yes. So this is a anti-abortion thing right here. Is what's happening, right? Because
I didn't even pick on that, but I think you're right. Yeah,
it's like, hey, this kid is isn't this kid, because they're like, oh, hey, what if the kid's messed up, right? That's what people say when it comes to abortion. What if the kid's messed up? What if he is? And then people are like, oh, you should abort it. But he's and then they're saying, well, look, this kid is born with one arm and he got by. It's like, yeah, that's not what people mean though. Like, you can live fine with one arm. You can't always live well with like a debilitating disease that like rots your bones. Like there's other ways. I don't know. It's a little different. Like, but that's definitely what they're trying to do here, which is, I don't know.
Oh, actually, you know what? Kind of tune. It's the one with the elephant. I think. Yeah, I remember covering that before. We talked about that when we were talking about Brave books before. Oops. Yeah. So I didn't even put that together. They do have that book. So I guess my house and my whatever I own is safe, but it's you could just tell if they're going to introduce a character called Culture something.
Yeah.
At first, these episodes are just kind of these bland, be nice to people things, and apparently the Culture doesn't want you to be nice to anybody, and whatever.
I honestly think that the people that made this show are so white that they don't know what the term Culture Vulture means. I would legit believe that that's a coincidence almost, or maybe they just heard it one time and were like, oh, that could be a good character. I don't know.
But he's not Culture Vulture. He's
not Culture Vulture. Culture the Vulture.
So the Culture is whatever.
Yeah, it's
stupid. All right, I want to skip. There's a part where we have the rest of the book. There's a part where he learns his lesson. He realizes that he should take care of the bird, blah, blah, blah. We do get a little lore in this part because they mention he says something about his dad, and there's a picture of him as his dad, and I'm glad my dad had you take care of me and stuff like that. So it sounds like Iggy's dad has passed at some point, and now
or ditched him.
Yeah.
It was like psych. He's like, this is a story about your dad, not your dad leaving you, Iggy. Like, oh damn. Okay.
We need to touch on this one little part here just to get a flavor of one more section.
The computer.
And this is just the most chintzy
computer you'll ever meet.
I hate this.
Oh, what about the bird?
I think we can let it rest. Alert from our super treehouse computer, the nicest computer you'll ever meet.
Oh, what about the bird?
I think we can let it rest for a few minutes.
Okay, come on.
Hello, Maple.
Good day, Mr. Kirk. Always lovely to see you. Iggy, you're looking as green as ever. We've been pending messages from one of our brave explorers. Whenever you're ready, just press that big blue button.
I love pushing buttons. Elevator buttons, buttons that say don't push this button, and sometimes you say I push your buttons. I love buttons.
Go ahead and push it.
Wha-bang.
Who tells a kid that they push their buttons?
My name's Jack.
Hi. Hey, Jack. How can I help you?
Well, I'm about to have a new little sister. My mom and dad are...
Okay, so I just wanted to give you the flavor of this. We don't need to watch this extremely uncomfortable kid deliver his lines. And no blame on the kid. He's just not an actor, and this poor kid just had to do his thing.
Yeah.
He did
fine. Kid's doing whatever. But yeah, they just randomly, apparently Smart House is real in this movie, and they got a computer in this tree house that may or may not become the AI from Terminator. I can't
Yeah, so
remember.
like QWERTY, but even more annoying.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
This computer just feels like one more basic lazy thing that's just insulting to kids. Like when I was a kid, if I saw a character come up like this, and I would see characters like this, it's just like, oh great, another one of these things. It feels like something adults think kids are going to get a kick out of, and it's just stupid and boring. So in short, this kid tells about how his parents are going to have a new baby, and he's afraid that they're going to give him all the attention, or her, or whatever.
Right.
And then Kirk says, well, wouldn't it be cool to take care of a kid? And the kid realizes he's right.
Yeah.
This feels like something that, sorry, go ahead.
Well, he convinces him that he needs to protect his baby sister. And he's like, isn't it going to be good to protect her? Like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. That's asking a lot out of a 5-year-old or whatever, but sure.
Yeah. If a robber comes into your house.
Yeah. If a robber comes in, are you willing to bite the bullet, Jimmy? Are you willing to do it for your baby sister? It'll make God happy. That's another thing they say later that I wanted to talk about. He says it'll make God happy, which is like,
yeah, because your sister was created in the image of God, that'll make him happy that you look after her.
That you
not
look after
just
him.
Have some basic human empathy.
Right, but it's I like that. That's like such a really scary implication, because the idea you're laying there is it'll make God happy, and you want to make God happy, don't you, Jimmy? you know what happens when God isn't happy. like we're already laying the foundation for fear of hell for whoever's watching this show, which is great.
I just like what they said, what Hank says at the end of this thing. The show is a freaking miscarriage of entertainment.
It's true.
Oh, that's a perfect way of putting it. But I think, again, something like this should at least be introduced at the beginning. If I were doing the show, I would have this kid come and ask the question, and Kirk would be like, oh, that's a good point. And then they go through, and then they learn something from this lesson, and it's all ties together a little more neatly. I don't know.
There must be some marketing thing that children's shows have figured out, because this has never appealed to me, but like Arthur did this for a bit. There's a lot of shows that like introduce real world kids near like the end of an episode. And I always hated that as a kid. I don't know why it was a thing. There must be some research that says, well, kids like when real kids show up. I don't know. It's not very appealing.
It just feels boring to me, and I always would have thought this was the boring part too. Oh, parents explain to a kid, now show me some more puppets.
It's the most boring part of VeggieTales, when Bob and Larry are like, oh, here's Timmy from Tabusco who says, I'm afraid I'm gonna go to hell, and Larry's like, you probably are, repent. Anyway, they don't say that.
Okay, so if it's right with you, I want to skip to the end of this episode, and I want to touch on just a couple things in future episodes, so that's all right, just really quickly.
Yeah, of course.
So let's watch.
You're right. I am mad that I didn't get picked, because like when Buster from Arthur was like traveling the world, he didn't come to my house, didn't come to my neighborhood. I would talk to Buster. Anyway.
All right. So long story short, the bird left, and it turns out being a mom feeding its babies worms and all that kind of stuff. And but it was at this point in the show that I realized why this is so exhausting. It's because it feels like it's rushing. It's like rushed and slow at the same time. Like it's just always bouncing you really quickly and in a totally arbitrary way or contrived way from one drawn out, boring like craft or story or whatever to another. There's very little cohesive in it. It just feels,
yeah. What would have been nice if, hey, they have an injured bird, and Mr. Kirk calls up the local wildlife expert and asks, hey, local wildlife expert, what should I do with this bird? And then they comes in and they talk about how you're not supposed to mess with nature, but you can help it along its way. I don't know, something that's like at least trying to be educational. This is just like all over the place, and there's just an injured bird in between. Like that's kind of what this whole plot was.
This show doesn't strike me as the kind of production that wants to train kids to trust in the so-called experts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't want kids to trust this. They're like, there's a bird. Figure it out. Let's get some raffia. Put him in a box. You know?
Decorate his box so he'll feel happy.
Yeah, he'll feel happy.
All right.
He's got a fingerprint too, you know.
Let's not just ending, because I have a feeling this was part of what you felt most uncomfortable about. Sorry, I talked over you for a second. Go and finish.
No, that's fine. No, there's a lot of well, let's watch this clip first, actually, and then we can talk about that part of it. What makes me
Fish at
uncomfortable.
Country Cove are gonna be biting bright and early.
Yeah, we're going fishing.
Okay, time for bed.
Hey, do you think we're gonna catch a big fish?
I have a feeling you're gonna catch a huge one.
Yes.
Let's get some sleep. Hey, Iggy. I'm so glad God made you. And I'm so thankful you're here with me.
Well, I'm thankful too.
I love you. Good night.
Ugh.
Night.
Yeah,
Ugh.
maybe don't model to kids that it's sweet when a non-parental caregiver like tucks you in and kisses you and stuff.
So this is what I wanted to talk about, Zod. I'm so glad you brought this up because I had the exact same thoughts. Stranger danger. Don't let other adults touch you like that in your no spaces. And like I think it's extra creepy too because like Iggy looks like a little man. He looks like a little dude. He's got a collared shirt and a little hat. Like kids don't wear that. What he's wearing, like skeezy dudes at the casino wear that. You know what I mean? And that's what he looks like. Leisure Suit Lizard. Like that's what's happening right now. And Mr. Kirk is just giving him a big old plop on the cheek and kind of rubbing him gently. It's weird. It's really weird. I don't want my kids to think this is okay in any way.
So, Mr. M68 Ken has a point that I want to address. Kirk is coded as a parent figure, but he is one. And it feels kind of understood that he's somewhat adopted him or taking him in after his dad died, I think.
Yeah.
But that's never really made clear. So I feel like he's kind of like a mentor / teacher character to this puppet is what it feels like. And
it's a little groomy. And also he leaves him. He's like, all right, I'm leaving you here in your treehouse while I go home to my real adult world, I guess. Like, does he do this every day?
We're getting comments about that. He's leaving Iggy home.
Yeah, like,
right? And where is Kirk going?
Yeah. He's got to go to the office tomorrow, I guess. Like, what?
So this is YT. I thought Mr. Kirk lived there. Why was he in the treehouse before Iggy was there?
That's what's it's like. Okay, is this the treehouse outside of Mr. Kirk's house? Like, why does he need the coat then? That's a heavy coat. I don't know. It's very strange.
And at the very this is the lore I'm interested in. I don't care about the whole big background of of the island and all that. I'm curious about who lives at this fucking house.
Yeah, who's here? Who legally owns this house? Is this
at the beginning
in Iggy's name? Does he pay taxes? Like, what's going on?
And this isn't just something outside his house, but because in the beginning, when the mailman brought him Iggy, he was sitting, and then the mailman comes and knocks on his door to deliver mail. You don't go deliver mail to a playhouse. You go deliver mail to someone where someone lives.
Right.
This show is so confused or just sloppy about the basics. It's annoying.
I understand we're criticizing children's media here, but I expect a little more coherence.
You should, because kids notice this stuff.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
true.
You think kids don't care about details or notice it, but especially when it's something kids have their eyes on when there's an adult and child relationship, how do these people relate to each other? Who are they? They notice. And it's weird. It's the kind of thing that
Yeah.
He's just
a squatter in his house. Iggy's just like a meth head that lives in this house, and Mr. Kirk feels like he's got to take care of him. He's like, we're going to go fishing. We're going fishing, Mr. Kirk.
This is Mr. Kirk's investment house that Dave Ramsey told him to buy.
Dave Ramsey.
All right, so let's finish this up, and then I want to watch the end of the next episode real quick.
Yeah.
skip ahead
Also,
of
wait,
that.
I just want Iggy is a God-fearing tax-paying iguana. I agree with that too. It's too real.
That's why he's so upset when a bird comes and starts eating his
Right.
eating his worms without paying taxes.
May the Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious unto you and
that
give you
look.
peace. Good night, Iggy.
Good night.
And good night, brave explorers.
You gonna give me a kiss goodnight too, Mr. Kirk? Come on.
Okay, so Iggy sings a song here. We don't need to watch.
And
this
he
whole thing.
doesn't turn the light off. Like, it's a very big light. That would feel like it's like right in his face.
So he turns off the electric lamp, but he leaves an oil lantern hanging next to Iggy.
Oh my God, you're right. It is an oil lantern. Oh my God. That could just fall and burn in the middle of the night. Mr. Kirk. This isn't very safe.
Yeah, why is he leaving him there in like a net hammock? I guess he's supposed to be an iguana too, but yeah, that's and
that hammock thing makes sense, but yeah, I don't. It's not good.
Also, I know that when he expresses care for this lizard and stuff like that, kind of like Mr. Rogers saying goodbye, you're being yourself and stuff like that to all the kids. He has to say something from the Bible to virtue signal to his audience. So the Lord bless you and keep you. But it feels just extremely not heartfelt and just like obligatory, like something you have to say because it's a Christian show. I don't feel like that expresses sincere care for the child character. And that's the kind of stuff that kids are really going to feel when they're watching this. And it's going to make them feel disconnected from it. That's my impression anyway.
Yeah. And another, like, Iggy just doesn't feel like a kid. He feels like a confused adult. That's what makes it kind of weird.
Like a confused and often vengeful adult.
Yeah, like Elmo, is like a child puppet. You tell because he like acts like a child. This is just Mr. Kirk putting his gay lizard lover to bed while he goes next door. Like, this isn't. I don't know.
All right. I want to just let's watch the end of season 2, and then I want to point out one other thing. Okay, first off,
yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, just like again, just reiterating on this. I can't put too fine of a point on this, but he does the putting the bed thing like every episode. I do want to point that out. Like, it's not like why were they so insistent on this?
So, well, that's actually different in this one, and I want to show.
Wait, is it? Wait,
oh,
is it the third one that he does it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm misremembering. I was.
So they reinvent a lot in this one. I think they shift the craft to the end, maybe realizing what I was talking about. They don't do the cold open. They just go straight to Brave plus original. There's a couple things. It's not. I want to. Okay, let's just watch the end of this one.
Wait, doesn't he put him to bed? Yeah, he puts him to bed. Yeah. Wait, doesn't he?
Okay, let's just watch.
Remembering that.
Stronger than before.
Yeah, so strong.
Hey, did you hear? It's bedtime.
Sure did. I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, sounds good. May the Lord bless you and keep you.
I guess he puts himself
and
to
be
bed.
gracious unto you.
Whatever.
And give you peace.
Watch.
Good night, brave explorers.
Now he says it to us.
Tomorrow we'll be back.
And they both leave the house.
To face the day unafraid. To learn new things, explore and play. Sing and praise.
Oh, I was not paying attention to this part. Okay, I was not paying attention. That's crazy. Why he teleported outside the house? Sod, how did that happen?
No, when he said you ready to go to bed and everything like that, and then he's like, yeah, you hear this little scurrying, like a little
zooms out. Okay,
yeah,
all right, that doesn't make any sense. When I think, hey, it's time to go to bed, I don't think let's go to the front porch and sing a fucking song. What's happening?
So I feel like they realized a lot of things did not go well.
Yeah,
and one, they took off the cold opening. I think they moved the craft. But then they realize maybe let's not have the man kiss the child that he's looking after in front of the audience. So, but then why now I'm really confused who lives in this house, because then they both leave at the end now.
Yeah. Don't leave your child in a treehouse. Maybe that was the notes they got after the pilot. He's got the fucking the jacket on too. The what do you call it? Oh, hang on, it'll come to me. The fucking damn, what is it? The guy that wore it in the commercials about soldiers being gay in the military. Who am I talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Hold on, I'll figure it out. Oh, let me cook. Anyway.
While you're doing that, let me go. I want to show you one thing from episode 3. Actually, there's 2 things I want to show. Okay, so episode 3
guy.
Episode 3, he kicks everyone out of his club.
One club captain.
Then what can I be?
Well, from now on, you shall be known as assistant to the captain.
And me?
Assistant to the assistant. And Carlos, you shall forever be known as keeper of the nuts.
Hey guys, anyone here? It's Bald Eagle. I've brought your juice boxes.
Thanks, Dad.
Oh, you're welcome. So,
did you hear what she just said to him?
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
It's
that grown-ass adult woman's playing a kid drinking
Yeah.
a juice box with a bunch of other kids.
Yeah, that it's I said chicken, it's a bunny. I don't know why I said chicken, but this is also very uncomfortable. This is very weird. They introduce all these other side characters, and I don't know what's going on here with this. It's very annoying. It's like I don't know what they're trying to do. But I remember who I was talking about, by the way. I'm talking about Rick Perry. Rick Perry, remember Rick Perry?
Oh,
and he had the jacket on, and he's like,
that looks like a Rick Perry jacket. Yeah,
I don't think there should be gays in the military or whatever. I don't know what he said.
I was already wondering why this grown adult was sitting here with these kids trying to dress like she's a little girl. And then he comes up bringing juice boxes. He says, "Oh, hi, Dad." Could they not? And at first I thought they maybe didn't want to have any kids in this show at all. But then I realized they would have those kids show up and talk at the end.
Yeah.
So like, what's going on? This is really weird.
No, it's very strange. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Okay, I'm rushing, but I need to show us one more thing that I think really shows us where this show means to be going. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Let me just find my spot.
But every episode, for those who don't know, like they got it's like a thing happens, there's a mailman, and then they read the book.
Yeah.
And also they talk to a kid. That does happen for all 3 of these.
Could be better than reading a brave.
I cannot believe I missed that. Clearly I was zoning out watching these stupid things. I just remember. Okay, yeah, all right, we'll keep going.
So the first 2 episodes, the lesson is just purely about being nice, right?
Yes.
The first one was about taking care of a young baby bird. The second one was about the Nutsy the squirrel or whatever.
Right.
Told everybody that he wets the bed. He confides in the squirrel. He wets the bed. And he goes and tells everybody. So Culture the vulture tells him to go tell all this everybody. Goes and tells everybody else about it. This one, he gets all bossy and starts kicking other people out of the club because they don't do something you like. But in the book, they have a similar situation, but something really, really telling, I think, happens here.
Yeah, they make the kids are there because they make a club. That's the whole thing. And then they start fighting about who does what.
Swan let Eva be in her magic show every night. One night, Swan asked her audience for a brave volunteer. Mr. Mountain Lion raised his big paw and leapt to the stage with a triumphant roar. But then, a skunk with a smirk called out,
"Maybe the magician should pull another eye out of her hat."
Mr. Mountain Lion smiled softly.
"How rude!"
Swan honked.
"You must hate all one-eyed animals."
Then the crowd became angry at the skunk.
"Let's build a raft of shame and trap the skunk forever in the whirlpool. Eva, use your might to throw this skunk out. Shame on him."
Shame, shame, shame.
The crowd echoed. With a smirk and a snort, Eva tossed him onto the raft of shame and hurled him up in the whirlpool.
So what the fuck? So we got Dan Crenshaw, the mountain lion, with the purple heart, which
So-
is wild.
This
Yeah.
is they're going beyond just be nice now and just good values for kids, because this is not just about getting along with everyone else in your club. You know what's happening here, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's well. First of all, does anybody know what's happening with the show? Because what the fuck? What kind of children's story even has details like this? Like, it's so wild. But yeah, this is-
Everyone's saying it in the chat. This is totally a cancel culture thing.
yeah, it is. It is 100% a cancel culture thing.
He even goes out of his way to say the lion volunteered. Someone else made a joke about his eye, and the lion just kind of smiled a little bit, but then someone else stepped in. So this is very much like, I dropped an N-bomb and the black person there liked it and thought it was funny, but some other person stepped up and said, "You're canceled," blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
The moral of this story is you should be nice to bullies. You should let bullies have free speech. That's the moral for this one.
Yeah. Yeah, so where this goes is she keeps canceling everybody for putting them on the raft of shame for one thing or the other.
Yeah.
Total on the nose metaphor for cancel culture. Then something happens and everyone turns against her and they're like, "Well, we can't cancel her. We don't want to be the same way, so we'll all just ignore her." And then she no longer has a magic show and she just sits there selling tickets or something, which is basically canceling someone. You're ignoring them, right? Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. It's not good. And
Yeah.
dumb. Also,
A
Dan
Magnet puts
Crenshaw,
it-
the mountain lion. I gotta point that out again. Because why? Why would they do that?
A Magnet makes it very clear gets to the point I'm saying. What's very clear is that this show isn't meant for kids, it's meant for parents. I think that's
Yeah. That's
from the very beginning, starting with how they promoted this was all meant for parents who wanted to see a certain kind of entertainment, and it's just virtue signaling for Christian adults.
yes. It's not good either. It's not entertaining or anything. It's just there.
Yeah. So I really rushed through on the end, but I really wanted to hit a couple things. Like the end of the one episode, they're constantly changing the lore and everything, and then
they made Culture the Vulture a puppet too. So
that's right, they did. Yeah,
so he's integral to the Iggy lore. Like they really they love this character, the Culture the Vulture, which is funny. But yeah, that happens in the second episode.
He goes up and tells let me think, what's his name? Oh, Iggy's mad because the squirrel told everyone that he wets the bed. So the Culture shows up and tells him that he basically reports it back to him and then says, "You need to get revenge." So this is, I don't know, everybody out in the Culture is just mean and terrible and whatever. This is just radicalizing kids before they even grow up.
Right. It's just so on the nose. Like, I don't know. I worry about children that would watch this. This is definitely homeschool education vibes too, by the way. I feel like in between, this is what you watch at snack break at Christian homeschool is Iggy and Mr. Kirk. That's got to be who this is for, because I don't know. It's not good.
And like you said, this isn't uniquely bad by the standard, especially of Christian kids entertainment. I mean, obviously there's good stuff like VeggieTales and stuff, but this, I guess the best way I can put it is it's just extremely basic. This is like something that they would have put on TV when I was in Sunday school, and I just thought it was boring. But the fact that he's hyping it up as like this great new revolutionary thing where finally we have entertainment for Christians.
Yeah, I like YouTubers that talk about old media and stuff every once in a while, and there's some that are like, oh man, this was the gold standard of children's television, and adults that get like real into the analysis of some of the stuff, and it's like, okay man, I certainly didn't pick up on that as a kid, and it's whatever. But like, you don't have to be a media scholar to see that this is just kind of bullshit. It's just like a little half-assed. Like it's not the lowest budget thing in the world, but there's better stuff out there, and why not watch the better stuff? Like, it's not gonna, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, it's a competitive market out there, children's programming. Why not give your kid the best? Why give him mediocre stuff like this? Yeah.
I'd rather watch Caillou.
Oh yeah, because Bluey's too woke. That's why. you know.
Caillou's the one that can like punch everything in one hit, right?
Yes, that's who he grows up to be. That's the sequel. One Punch Man. No, first of all, I'm also disappointed because in none of those 3 episodes, I was waiting for the one about guns and like introducing the kids to guns and gun safety. Not because as a bit, like they talked about that. That was one of the selling points was the Second Amendment shit. And it's not there. There's only 3 available for some reason. And all of these were posted over a month ago, seemingly weeks apart, like 1 week and the next week and the next week. So what happened? Because there have to have been at least like 10 of these things made. There's no way they did just 3.
There's
So,
been,
I don't know.
I believe 6 episodes have been put out on Brave Plus.
Oh, yeah, I
I think
on
they just
Brave
quit,
Plus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think they just quit posting them to YouTube.
That's
They can't give this stuff out for free, man.
Yeah, clearly this is too good. I have to watch the one about guns. I gotta see the one that has to be like, right?
Yeah.
That's gotta be crazy. They have one on here. I didn't see this, The Legend of Freedom Island. Maybe that's a lore video on the channel.
Yeah.
You think that gets into it?
It was, I think I started watching it. It was just a bunch of nothing. I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They posted it twice. One 3 years ago and one a year ago. And the one 3 years ago has 150,000 views and the other one has 30K. And they look like they're the exact same video, like almost the same length and everything. So I don't know what's going on there. Who is running this?
But I think final thought, why would parents make their kids watch something so boring? I think because like the comment said, this is all targeted at parents. None of the promotion for this was geared toward kids or their thinking. It was all targeted at making parents feel like the entertainment world is a certain way. It's the same as like, what's that stupid thing? Daily Wire making movies and stuff. We're finally we're finally producing media that's not shoving liberal values down your throat. And I feel like this is the same thing, but you're targeting that message at at parents for their kids.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because like in a world where parents can pick whatever the flip they want for their kid to watch, you have to sell them. They're the decision makers on what the kids are watching. It's no longer just, plop the kid in front of the TV. A lot of parents don't even have cable. They just have streaming services or whatever. So the sell is for the parents. It's not for the kids, which is kind of interesting because like it used to be what the kids really liked, right? I mean, obviously some parental involvement, but like sometimes you just put a kid in front of a TV. But now you have to really convince them to watch it. So it has to be like, here's where we talk about culture war stuff and, guns and being like weirdly intimate with your iguana child that you have guardianship over, but also is like owns land and Bays, Texas, and has a mailing address. I don't know. It's very strange.
Yeah. All right. Well, we should get wrapped up. We're a few minutes over. Any last thoughts before we close?
I'm not letting Iggy the iguana near my son ever in the future. He's going to stay as far away as possible. I think that's
you're not allowed to play with Iggy.
Yeah. We're putting some boundaries. Iggy's going into the raft of shame. I think I'm putting him on there and letting him go.
Yeah, that's my final thought too. Iggy, Mr. Kirk, the whole show, it all goes on the raft of shame. We're throwing you all on there.
Raft of shame for all of this.
All right. Well, unless you have anything else, good night, everybody.
It.
Thanks for sticking with us.
Voy a cantar esta canción con mucho cariño de mi corazón a la República Dominicana, la casa del merengue y la casa de la bachata. Voy a cantar esta canción con mucho cariño de mi corazón a la República Dominicana, la casa del merengue y la casa de la bachata. La 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 la, la casa del merengue. La, 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 la. Y la casa de la bachata